Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth their time and bandwidth.
Today's game is Starfield. The long-awaited new IP from Bethesda. Is Starfield a galaxy of adventure or lacking in new ideas? Let's find out. Starfield is the latest in the Bethesda Game Studios line of open world, or in this case open universe games, with this one spanning a galaxy of planets, cities, and a lot of ore to mine. You play as a space miner who, while digging up stuff, touches some artifact that gives you a vision of something, and are quickly whisked away to join Constellation, an exploration-focused group who wants all of these artifacts because well, it's something to do. I guess, look, nobody plays the main story in Bethesda games, and even after beating it, I wasn't exactly blown away. So let's talk about what you're actually going to be doing. Side content and flying around the universe. This game has a ton of stuff to do, but the main loop is split between two things: flying around in space and exploring planets on foot. The space stuff is actually pretty minimal. This is not No Man's Sky, where you'll be flying around the universe in real time, or even landing your ship. Space is more just a waiting area in orbit around the planet before landing. Sometimes you'll have to combat in space, but it's pretty basic. Use lasers on shields, then barrage with missiles and ballistic weapons affair, though the fact you can fully customize your ship is pretty fun. Once you land, you're basically in the usual Bethesda experience, albeit generally a smaller bite. Planets have a handful of landmarks to explore, which you can spot using the new scan feature, and these range from unique experiences to copy-pasted ones. The larger settlements and cities are often hubs of side quests and richer content, though like real space, most planets are pretty barren, sometimes not even having enemies or life on them at all. Scanning stuff is actually pretty fun and helps you identify crafting materials you'll need. A new mechanic is research, where you'll use these materials, which then unlocks more stuff that you can build, which honestly that crafting system is straight from Fallout 4. Think modular weapons and suit modifications from that system. In fact, a lot of this game has Fallout 4's DNA, to the adequate gunplay, to the perk-based skill system, which has the added wrinkle of including small challenges with each perk that you must complete in order to upgrade it. The real point here is the insane amount of content and ways to engage with it. Set up outposts on planets to mine the resources for you. Watch where pirates touch down and then go steal their ships. Try to find the odd gravitational or biological phenomena. Customize your ship to have shielded cargo bays so you can sneak contraband past sensors. Bethesda was definitely trying to make this the ultimate version of their kind of game, so yeah, there's a ton of stuff to do here. And there's definitely more I could say on that, but I think I've covered the gist. The point is that Starfield is one Bethesda-ass Bethesda game, and if that's what you expected, you'll know exactly what you're getting. So what do I like about Starfield? Well, as I mentioned, there's an absolutely insane amount of content here and things to do. A lot of make your own fun. For example, I settled down as a drug dealer in the city of Neon for several hours before going out and just scanning an entire system because I like scanning stuff. Additionally, as you can imagine, this makes the game very addicting, because if you don't like what you're doing, just go do something new, or start one of those 20 quests that showed up in your quest sheet, or spend an hour in the ship editor. It's a difficult game to put down. And lastly, I love this game's art direction, even if the color palette's a little muted. It's got a bit of that NASA punk style of future that bleeds from every ship, colony, city, mining camp, and more. When it comes to the bad, this feels like the epitome of the Bethesda wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle style of game design, meaning you'll find a few really incredible side quests and a lot of filler/mid content that just exists to fill time. Additionally, not all of the pieces fit together great. Basically, anything to do with space travel feels more tacked on than anything. Outpost creation feels bare bones. And honestly, I'd prefer less content than a few hundred copy-pasted planets. And lastly, there's just a lot of little obnoxious annoyances. Bugs do crop up from time to time. Nearly everything seems to require a few seconds of loading. The UI and menus, especially for fast travel and items, is obnoxious. And the local map is so bad, it's like a joke. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And people online have definitely been divided on how to rank this game, but I personally think it's pretty cut and dry. If you enjoy Bethesda's style of open world RPGs, you will love Starfield. But if you don't, this probably isn't the one that's going to change your mind. While I know Bethesda games aren't particularly deep, New Vegas being the exception, I do like the cut of their jig, and I had a great time with Starfield, and so I would recommend it. While it definitely has more than a few flaws, for those who like this kind of game, you're going to have hundreds of hours of fun. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Have you checked out Starfield? Please let me know in the comments what you think. As mentioned, I know this game's been pretty divisive, so I'm curious. But regardless, if you have Game Pass, you might as well go play Starfield.